You've been there. You open your laptop on a Monday morning. Your calendar is full, your to-do list is long, and before you do any real thinking, you're filling out last week's timesheet, logging hours like it's 1925, not 2025. Have you ever wondered why we still use timesheets? You're not on a factory floor. You're not stitching shirts or tightening bolts. You solve problems. You think. You lead. And yet, you're still being measured by hours. Let's call it what it is. A timesheet is a tool from the industrial era. Back then, more hours meant more output. 8 hours in, 8 hours of work out. It was simple. It was fair. It worked for that world. Think about where this idea came from. The factory floor, the assembly line, a system where a worker's output was directly linked to how many hours they clocked in. Supervision was key. Monitoring was everything, because in a mass production economy, control meant efficiency. But here's where it went wrong. That logic has seeped into white-collar work, into your spreadsheets, your consulting hours, your Zoom calls, as if thinking, creating, solving, and transforming can be judged by the ticking of a clock. But we don't live in that world anymore. Today, professionals do something completely different. You build strategies, you write code, you fix problems no one else can even define. And that kind of work? It doesn't run on the clock. Yet many companies still act like it does. They ask you to track your time, to log hours, to prove you're working, not by what you deliver, but by how long you sit at your desk. That's the problem. Timesheets measure input, not output. They count hours, not impact. Imagine this. One engineer solves a major bug in 3 hours and saves the company millions. Another spends 8 hours on a minor update that changes nothing. According to the timesheet, the second person looks more productive. Does that make sense? Of course not. But this is the world we've created. A world where showing up looks better than solving problems. It gets worse, because once time becomes the measure, everything shifts. People start stretching tasks, they pad their hours, not because they're lazy, but because they feel pressured to look busy. It's performative, it's inefficient, and it burns people out, because high-skill work doesn't happen on a fixed schedule. It happens in bursts. Sometimes it takes minutes, sometimes days. And forcing it into a grid of hours, it kills creativity. Timesheets were designed for jobs where labor was repetitive, where every worker did the same task again and again. But high-skill work is the opposite. It's unpredictable, it's creative, it's about insight, not repetition. You might think for days. Then suddenly it all comes together in 1 hour. Try putting that on a timesheet. And then there's trust. High-skilled professionals don't just need time, they need trust. Trust to manage their own energy, their own focus, their own flow. But a timesheet says the opposite. It says, we don't trust your judgment, so prove you worked. Show us your hours. And that message, it kills morale. It doesn't matter how senior you are. The pressure is quiet but constant. You find yourself watching the clock, dragging out a task, adding filler meetings, not because the work demands it, but because the system does. You hesitate before logging just 2 hours on a high-impact job. You feel the need to justify speed, to apologize for efficiency, and when your worth is tied to how long you appear busy, you start to doubt your own value. Professionals begin asking themselves, did I do enough today? Not because they didn't contribute, but because their hours didn't look impressive. Timesheets don't just waste time, they chip away at confidence. They replace momentum with guilt, trust with micromanagement, focus with distraction. And that's how good people burn out. Not from overwork, but from undervaluing what they actually did. Now, some will argue, but we need timesheets for accountability. For billing, yes, clients want transparency, but they don't actually care about hours. They care about results. A client hires a lawyer to win a case, not to work 100 hours. A company hires a consultant to fix a problem, not to fill a timesheet. The truth is, people want progress. They want change. They want clarity. And if that comes in 2 hours, not 20, even better. You can fake hours, you can't fake results. That's the shift we need. From tracking hours to tracking outcomes. From asking, how long did it take? To what changed because of you? And for professionals, especially freelancers and consultants, It means changing how we price our work. Stop charging for time. Start charging for value. If your idea grows a client's revenue by $1 million, you shouldn't be billing like an hourly temp. You're not being paid to show up. You're being paid to move the needle. That's what matters. Of course, change isn't easy. Timesheets feel familiar. They give managers a sense of control. But that control is an illusion, and it comes at the cost of trust, creativity, and real performance. So let's ask better questions. Did the work deliver value? Did it solve the problem? Was the client better off because of you? If yes, then how many hours it took doesn't matter. Because hours don't build momentum. Impact does. It's time we stopped rewarding people for looking busy and start recognizing the ones who move things forward, clearly, quickly, and with purpose. If you found value in this video, please like this video. It really helps amplify the reach. Please do subscribe to my channel for more such videos, and I will see you in the next one.
Find your unique value, let it free, stand tall, rise up, be who you wanna be. Your story matters, sing it loud and clear. You got that spark, ignite it without fear.